So, you've submitted your resume to maybe over 30 companies, aced a few interviews recently, and still no job offer. Sounds familiar? Right now, millions of Canadians are stuck in the same loop, wondering why is it so hard to get hired in 2025? Is it me? Is it the economy? Is the system just broken? The truth is, it's complicated, and it's not your fault. In this video, we're unpacking why landing a job in Canada today is harder than ever before. We'll look at rising unemployment, stalled job growth, political uncertainty, and how technology, especially AI, is transforming how companies hire. We'll also explore the unique barriers faced by young professionals, immigrants, and people living in big cities. And we're not stopping there. This isn't just about outlining problems, it's about showing you where your power lies. Because once you understand what's actually happening in the market, you can stop blaming yourself and start shifting your strategy. So if you're feeling stuck, you're not alone, and you're definitely not out of options. By the end of this video, I'm hoping that you'll understand what's really going on and how to rise above it with some smart steps. Let's break it all down. Let's start with the big picture. The Canadian economy in 2025 is kind of sending some mixed signals, and workers are feeling the fallout in a big way. As of May, Canada's unemployment rate has hit 7%, the highest in nearly a decade outside of the pandemic. That's more than 1.6 million Canadians looking for work. The problem, our population is growing, but job creation hasn't really kept pace. More people are entering the workforce than there are positions available, and the result is fierce competition even for entry-level roles. In May alone, the manufacturing sector lost about 12,000 jobs, and even government positions are on the decline. Meanwhile, some sectors have seen some gains, but they're often part-time, temporary, or lower-wage roles. Skilled workers are finding themselves pushed into roles that don't match their expertise and don't pay the bills. This shift is creating a kind of career traffic jam. You've got overqualified candidates applying for roles far below their level of skill, underqualified ones struggling to get traction, and a hiring system that's really overwhelmed. When hundreds of people apply to the same job, it's not personal when you don't get a callback. It's systemic. But here's the key. Understanding this can give you a bit of clarity. It's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that the system is stuck under pressure. And recognizing where there's gridlocks might help you to move a little bit more strategically. For example, find sectors that are growing, employers that are hiring, and pathways that others might look, such as relational hiring or pitching yourself. Canada's job market isn't just shaped by what's happening at home, it's also reacting to pressures from abroad. Take trade, for example. In 2025, the US imposed new tariffs on key Canadian exports, such as steel, aluminum, and automobiles. This might sound like just politics, but for thousands of Canadian workers, it's actually really personal. These tariffs hit hard in sectors that were already struggling, causing companies to scale back hiring and delay new investments entirely. The Bank of Canada has flagged these tensions as a major concern in the employment economy. When businesses can't predict what's coming next, they get cautious, and cautious companies don't expand. They freeze hiring, tighten budgets, and wait things out. And then there's the political landscape within Canada. The leadership shakeups that we had of 2024 and early 2025 have triggered some instability that's still rippling through the economy. Policy changes, shifting priorities, and public uncertainty have made employers nervous about the future, and some companies are holding off on long-term hiring decisions, including bringing on new staff. The bottom line? Even if you're doing everything right, larger forces are slowing down the hiring process right now. And it's not just about your resume, it's about economic headwinds that no single candidate can really control. Here's something surprising. Even in a tough market, employers are actually still struggling to find roles. How is that possible? It all comes down to a growing skills gap. In a recent survey, 46% of Canadian hiring managers said they're having trouble finding qualified candidates, and more than half said it's harder to hire now than it was just 5 years ago. This mismatch isn't just about technical ability, it's about evolving expectations too. Employers want candidates who can work with digital tools, adapt quickly, and solve complex problems. But many job seekers haven't had the chance to build those skills yet. At the same time, technology is transforming how companies hire using AI. From resume scanning to video interview analysis, AI is changing the rules behind the scenes. Some companies are also using AI to shortlist candidates based on keywords. Still others analyze your tone and eye contact in pre-recorded interviews. And while these tools promise efficiency, they also introduce new challenges, especially if you don't know how the system works. That's why it's not enough to just apply. You need to strategically match your skills and language to what the employer is seeking and show them what problem you can solve for them. Tailoring your resume using keywords from the job post isn't gaming the system, it's really speaking the employer's language. And here's the twist: AI can be your ally too. You can use it to prep for interviews, fine tune your applications, and practice your responses with real time feedback. So, yes, the hiring process is more complex than ever, but if you understand the rules, you can play the game and win. One major shift in Canada's job market isn't about economics or technology, it's actually about people. Canada's population is aging rapidly, and as more older workers retire, it's creating gaps in the workforce that should open doors for younger generations. But it's not really that simple because retirements are happening in waves, yes, but they're also putting stress on pensions, healthcare systems, and job structures. Some industries are struggling to pass the torch, while others are hesitant to hire and train newcomers. At the same time, young Canadians are hitting walls. As of late 2024, without this early work experience, our young people are missing out on the soft skills, references, and confidence that will kickstart their career. And while the economy is tightening, it's usually those entry-level roles that are getting cut first. This disconnect creates a vicious cycle. Youth can't get hired because they don't have the experience, and they can't get the experience because they can't get hired. So, whether you're early in your career or maybe decades into it, Canada's changing demographics are likely impacting your job prospects too, in subtle but maybe powerful ways. So, let's break down where you live in Canada and how that is also increasingly affecting your chances of getting hired. In today's job market, location actually really matters. And depending on where you live in Canada, your job search might look completely different from someone else's. Let's start with the major cities. Urban centers like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, which are usually economic hotbeds, are currently seeing a slowdown. Job postings in these cities are down about 15% compared to pre-pandemic levels, and the competition for available roles is quite intense. Why? Growing population, high cost of living, and a flood of applicants all chasing the same shrinking pool of positions. On the flip side, smaller cities and rural areas are seeing some growth. In fact, job postings in some less populated regions are up 26% compared to early 2020. These communities often have opportunities in sectors like healthcare, trades, construction, education, and logistics, roles that are essential but frequently overlooked by more urban job seekers. This geographic divide is creating a tough decision for Canadians. Do you stay local and struggle, or maybe relocate to a smaller town or city? But being open to mobility or even to remote roles or remote based roles that require travel could dramatically expand your chances of landing a role. The job market isn't just changing by industry either, it's shifting across the map. The job market is tough, but tough markets can create resilient professionals. And you're going to level up here. Here's how to rise above the noise. First, get crystal clear on your value proposition. This isn't just a fancy phrase, it's the core of how you really market yourself. Ask, what problems can I solve? What outcomes have I driven? Did you perhaps streamline workflows, boost team morale, grow revenue, or maybe manage complex projects? Write those down. Make them part of your personal brand. Then, communicate your value everywhere: your resume, your LinkedIn headline, maybe even a portfolio, during interviews, and even in your email signature. You're not applying just for jobs, you're offering a solution. Second is get visible, strategically and consistently. Job boards are flooded, but real opportunities often live in relationships and making connections. Make LinkedIn a daily habit. Engage with posts, maybe write some short updates about your career and job search, join industry groups, and post insights from your current learning journey as you upskill. The more visible you are, the more top of mind you can become. Visibility builds trust, and it can also open doors. Third is leverage AI as your secret weapon. Don't just fear AI, use it. Tools like ChatGPT can help you to analyze job descriptions, prepare tailored resumes, and simulate interview practice. They can even suggest industry-specific keywords for your job search and for your cover letters. Do your research on companies. Practice those tough interview questions also till you're fluent. Make the output count. Combine this kind of automation that AI can gives with your own authenticity, and you'll stand out. The bottom line is you're not unemployed right now. You're in transition, just like a lot of other people. And this is the chapter where you get to be focused, visible, and empowered. Don't just wait for a job. Position yourself to find the right job. So, if you've been feeling discouraged, know this. It's not just you. The Canadian job market in 2025 is genuinely tough, but it's not impossible. From economic shifts and political uncertainty to skill gaps and AI disruption, there are real obstacles. But when you understand the system, you can work within it, not against it. Get clear on your value, get visible, and use the tools like AI available to you. You have more control than you might think. If this helped, give it a like and share it with someone who's job searching, and hit subscribe.